time capsule found in the cornerstone of the former municipal auditorium gymnasium at 94 Main Street on July 5th of 2016. We especially welcome those present when the time capsule was placed in the cornerstone. Please raise your hand if you attended the ceremony or remember that day. Thank you.
Raise your hand.
I don't hear that.
You remember that day, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Because we got one class we didn't have to go to it. Watch it.
Kids are the same these days as they were back then.
Probably.
In his March 2016 documentation of the municipal gymnasiums of the Vermont Division of Historic Preservation, architect Thomas Keefe noted the following. The gymnasium was one of the two Public Works Administration-funded Depression-era projects in Middlebury, the other being the post office 2 blocks north on the Green. At a time when money and jobs were scarce and the town faced a major decision about planning school buildings for the future, this New Deal grant enabled the consolidation of school functions in a convenient location adjacent to the village center. With a growing population, the need for a larger public meeting space close to the town center was a concern that was addressed with this building. The municipal gymnasium was built in 1939 as an extension of the 1910-11 brick high school in a style and using materials complementary to the school. A cornerstone at the northeast corner gives the date of completion as 1939. From the Middlebury Register of Friday, April 14th, 1939 on the front page, say the cornerstone of the new Middlebury High School Annex was set in place in the northeasterly corner of the structure next to College Street yesterday, Thursday, April 13th, 1939. There was no formal ceremony, but representatives of the school board, contractors, A.L. Lawrence of the Federal Public Works Administration, and George H. Carlton for the school board, Principal A.D. Seaver, teachers, and students, and town authorities were on hand. Of note, the annex benefited by advance of more than $60,000 of federal aid. The alternative was to move to the fairgrounds, and the total cost to build was $137,000. So on this spectacular July evening in 2016, 77 years later, the day the last walls of the municipal building and gymnasium came down, in case you didn't notice, it's a clear view now. We gather to open the time capsule, curious about its contents and its messages sent forward from 1939. On advice from archivists from the Sheldon Museum, in order to preserve the capsule's contents, we will open the box with plastic gloves and display the items, identifying them as we go. After the ceremony, we will bring the items back to the Sheldon for further advice on how to display the contents. So if those present at the placement of the cornerstone would like to come forward and assist me with the identification of the items, we'd greatly appreciate it.
Mrs. Billings, would you like to come up?
You want to come forward?
Come on.
Take a look at them.
I know you.
I forget what. Who are you?
The first thing we have here is a little piece of notepaper that says Morris Foley, plumber, foreman, M.H. McLaughlin, contractor, Rutland, Vermont.
Could you have her stand by this
Oh,
cauldron?
Mrs. Billings, if you could come over. We have some more. And this is the annual report of School District Number 4, Middlebury, Vermont, 1937 to 1938. The Middlebury Register. Friday, May 13th, 1938. Middlebury votes for $135,000 high school construction project is the headline.
There's a second.
I think it's all part of the same. Oh, okay. Middlebury Register, Friday, August 12th, 1938. Middlebury High School contract let to Casper Ranger Company of Holyoke, Massachusetts. Middlebury High School, Middlebury, Vermont, 1938 to 1939. Postgraduates, seniors, juniors, sophomores, and freshmen, all listed here. The Otter, can't read that second word. That's it. Tracks, Otter Tracks. Information from December 16th, 1938, about the Yuletide concert. Heart Trouble presented by the seniors, must have been a play. The school newsletter. Middlebury High School faculty, 1938 to 1939. A.D. Seaver, algebra. Edward Stefanik, social problems, geometry, ancient history, and chemistry. Mr. William Craig, general science and English 2. Mr. Amos Austin, agriculture. Mrs. R.H. White. Are any of these people sounding familiar to you?
I mean, I want to know more.
Maybe they knew him too.
Mrs. W.W. Calhoun. Commercial arithmetic, office practice typing, introduction to business and bookkeeping. I think I skipped over Mrs. R.H. White, biology, American history. Mrs. Irene Barrett, English 3 and Latin. Miss Gertrude Brannon, English 4 and French. Miss Inez Cook, social science and English 1. Miss Elise Tyron, home economics. Mrs. G.H. Belton, typing, shorthand, commercial law and economics. And Mrs. Marion Seaver, supervisor of music. Janitor, Mr. William Lupin.
What year was that?
1938, 1939.
She was still teaching us when we graduated in
Doug
1960.
Finney must have
Mrs.
came in
Calhoun.
this hall this year. He was our class advisor.
We also have a list of architects, clerk of the works, resident engineer, and contractors for basement constructor and contractors for superstructure. This cornerstone is laid on the afternoon of Thursday, April 13th, 1939. And the New York Times from Sunday, April 9th, 1939. And that's it.
That's it?
So all documents.
10 cents.
What's the headline?
Headlines. Italians take Tyrrhenia, King of Zog flees, White House sees new sharp issue, British studying pledge to Greece.
Look at the size of that.
All that paper for 10
10
cents?
cents.
1.3 billion aid sought for farms by Senate group.
What was the price of the other two? It was a register.
5 cents a copy, $1.50 a year.
My times have changed.
22,000 in Army Fete Parade in Fifth Avenue. 75,000 to 100,000 line route of march. Lehman bids us prepare for war.
Was any work done on this box when it was taken out of the ground, or is that exactly the way it looked when
This
they-
is exactly the way it looked.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
Now, you said that in 1911, the cornerstone of the main building,
the keystone.
the keystone, was there anything buried with that?
There wasn't. That came off today, and there wasn't anything there. It was basically a thin plate that came right off, and there wasn't anything there.
The cornerstone.
Okay? Well, thank you very much.
Look at that list of students, and see if there's any